Hello, and welcome to the Everyday Leader Podcast, a place for those of us who take the bull by the horns and lead the heck out of our everyday lives. I'm your host, Kat Rippy, wife, mother, and CEO of Energize Leadership. This podcast is for everyday people, just like us, who tackle life to make the most of it and to make a real difference. Life looks different for each of us, but we all have good days and bad days, and we don't always get credit with bold newspaper headlines or celebrity status. Every week, I'm bringing you everyday leaders who take leadership seriously, whether at work or at home, and everywhere in between. Tune in for life hacks, personal insights, and a good time. Today we're going to tackle the big hairy monster that feels uncomfortable for most people. The reason I decided to cover this topic is because so many of us have been passed over by a promotion at some point in our career, and it never, ever feels good. Talk about awkward. You may feel bad, sad, or mad. Your boss, if he or she knows you were going for it, may feel bad, sad, or mad. The person who didn't select you may not quite know what to say beyond someone else just had better qualifications. And now you all need to move forward together as if it didn't happen. Sometimes it's even worse than that, and you have to now report to the person who did get the job. I mean, let's just be real. Going for it and not getting it is plain old yucky. Well, let me tell you, while your boss or the hiring manager and the person who did get the job are busy avoiding you, I can tell you who they are talking to. Me. I can tell you this whole situation is one of the top 5 situations every leader and HR manager can't quite figure out, and they end up asking me how to deal with it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the talking here. I'll say the things they won't say. You ready? Number 1, they do know what they are doing. You and others might be sitting there doing the armchair judging on why they picked the wrong person or how they made the wrong decision. And sure, a small percentage of the time that is correct, but really, those who are in the position to select and hire someone have a rationale that is meaningful, and you really do need to trust them. Most of the time, I can concur, they have made the right decision, or at least the best decision for that moment in time. Number 2, fit matters. Sure, you might be able to check all the right boxes. You may have been waiting for 3 years. It's not just about the job or about the work that needs to be done. The person selected has to work well with all the peoples. First, the person selected has to work well with the boss. I am not even going to tell you on this podcast about all of the people I've worked with because the relationship between them and their boss is not working out. But here's a clue. The boss usually wins. This is a fact, and it happens at every level and to all kinds of smart, hardworking, and well-intentioned people. But the right fit for the role will also be someone who can work well with all members of the team, as well as customers and other people that the team needs to interact with. So hold up the mirror and check out your reflection in this area. Do you really qualify across the board? Number 3, have you considered pace and efficiency? If you're one of those people who takes forever and a day to get your work done, the hiring manager may not see that you were able to take on more. More importantly, they might be right. Number 4, review your ability to be flexible. Managing people and workload requires a really nimble nature. Sure, you have to be able to get stuff done, but you also need to be able to flex according to the needs of the day, the priorities of the week, and the people on the team. Those who process one task at a time or get really caught up in doing things in the right way, or maybe who get frustrated easily with others or with interruptions, they might in fact be most happy staying right where they are. So is this you? It's a good question to consider. Number 5, what are your true intentions? Are you going for an increase in pay? There's nothing wrong with that, but just check yourself. Are you in it more for the money or for the actual opportunity? Are you in it for a better title? People really know these things, right? They can sense it. And it's not so much that they can sense that those are what you're in it for more than something else. But the people who get the promotions are most likely the people who they've got some kind of passion about doing the work of the position. So there's passion involved in that work. If you find your passion and live it, the titles and the pay will come. So consider that. And the final one here, I'm not going to even give a number because it's the silent unspeakable. And so really we're just going to pretend like I never really said it. But sometimes, yes, someone else was the winner for reasons that just aren't right. Your choice now is to get on board or find a new home. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel fun or exciting. It's not your best day. But you know what? The worst thing you can do for yourself is to stay in a role that you're not on board with, working for someone who you disagree with. It truly is time to move on and find a better spot where you can thrive. And trust me, it's a win-win situation. All right.